You're very welcome to this workshop. My name is Brian Smyth, Project Manager of Social Farming Ireland. I'm here to talk about the benefits and outcomes of social farming support for people with Down syndrome and from the Irish experience. I'm a father, a parent of a 16-year-old girl with Down syndrome, been involved in Down syndrome Ireland and many of its activities over the last 17 years. I'm involved in this project through my work with the Leitrim Development Company, our social inclusion programme, and the Social Farming Ireland project, which is a network funded by the Department of Agriculture, Food and Marine, also supported by the Health Service Executive and Healthy Ireland, which support placements. This project is developing quickly over the last 5 to 6 years, with now over 120 farms and many hundreds of participants going out onto those farms. Based in Leitrim Development Company, as I said, it's a social inclusion programme, collaborating with other companies, similar companies around the country, but also linked with other similar social farming, care farming, green care projects right across Europe, from Romania, Poland, Germany, the UK, Spain, and in many other places. Social farming draws on the assets within the farming community and the relationships that can build, and it's from a rich rural culture and a socially valuable way of life that is farming and agriculture in Ireland, as it is in many other countries. So social farming is having huge benefits for participants from a wide range of backgrounds, for farmers as well as for the wider society. And it's providing people with Down syndrome with new opportunities to engage in new activities in their own community, with interests that they have, and to build their own lives, to connect with people in those communities, to connect with nature. And we know from what they're telling us that it is enhancing their lives. So what is it? Social farming gives people an opportunity to spend time on an ordinary family farm in ways that benefit them. It's a planned support placement with the farmer and on the farm, where people are supported with an individual support plan. The person is at the center of it, and the focus is always on them and their choices, the goals they set for their own development and for where they want to go in their own lives, and where they want to bring their lives to at this particular time or throughout their life cycle, wherever they are, whether they're young people, older people, whether they're looking for training, work, or whatever. This is a relational support in that it uses the relationships with the natural and existing assets of people. It's the farming community, the place, and that's the farm itself, where it sits in the environment, and the community around that farm, and also focuses very much on the activities that happen each and every day on that farm. Obviously, it involves the dynamic and real day-to-day activities, because they're ever changing and they evolve throughout the seasons. And these help people to develop meaningful engagements, meaningful relationships. The focus is on working farms here in Ireland that are embedded in their own community. These are ordinary farms. They're not established specifically. They're not built as specialist treatment farms. And they provide a place where people can go as part of an ordinary working business of a farm. So increasingly, people with Down syndrome here in Ireland are choosing this opportunity to participate and benefit from those natural rhythms of life in this rural setting, and to find and develop valued social roles for themselves within their own community with the interests that they have. We see here Minister for Disability. A recent Minister for Disability visited his social farm, met these 3 young men from Waterford who are interested in horticulture and growing, and he was supporting us to mainstream social farming activity and personalised budgets, which is evolving here in Ireland, and also mainstream it within day service provision and the changes that are taking place in that, where there's more of a focus on community engagement than institutional arrangements. So there's 3 key elements really to social farming and how it works and supports people. So the people spend time in the environment, on the farm, in the live, vibrant atmosphere and environment that is, and that in itself provides the basis on which people get the opportunity to engage in what can be a very interesting range of meaningful and socially valued roles and activities. And again, these will be discussed later on further down in the discussion. And the opportunity then for more and new social and community connections and to build friendships out of that farm and the people and communities that surround it. So what's the practice look like? Participants go to their chosen farm 1 or 2 days a week for a period of time. It can be short term, medium or long term. It's a good place to start from about 10 weeks right up to enduring long-term placements that repeat for year on year at this stage in Ireland. And it's evolving and changing, and the placements are becoming more and more enduring as people need and require. There's always a small group of people on the farm, between 2 and 4 people, sometimes 1, maybe 2, 3, but no more than 4. The farmer obviously works and supports alongside these participants when they're on the farm at all times. There's an induction day where people go out to meet the farmer, see the farm, and make sure it's the place they need or want to go to. And it's always based on their own choice of taking part. Obviously, the arrangements around that are made, logistic arrangements, transport, etc. And each person is then supported to develop an individual support plan, which sets the goals that they have or want from attending the farm and from what they want to achieve. Health and safety is a key priority for participants and for farmers, and participants indeed themselves help to create that safe environment and learn how to keep safe and support their own safety on the farm. Social farmers in Ireland now receive full training and induction, and they must meet with some of our social farming Ireland governance and safeguarding standards to ensure equality and equity, and also to make sure that people are not taken advantage of in any way when they're on the farm. So the activities on farm vary from farm to farm. Every farm is very different mix of enterprises, different mix of activities, stock, horticulture, grain production, and other on-farm activities. So obviously the variation and what happens depends on the interests of the person, their goals, and their strengths and what they're taking part in. Obviously the weather and the season and time of year varies, and so different things happen in different seasons. Lambing in spring, for instance, harvest in autumn, and obviously the type and scale of farm. So if you have a small horticultural unit versus a large dairy farm, there's very significant difference in the activities that happen. Obviously the stage in the placement, how long people have been on the farm and how long they've been going there, and as they progress through that over time. So if somebody's been a longer term on a farm, they have evolved and developed different activities and interests, and it can vary for that reason. Obviously, there's getting a balance between the regular activities towards more periodic and seasonal activities, and also there's a once-off. So, for instance, everyday animals need to be fed or tended. In more periodic things would be lambing would take place in spring, harvest, and then there's once-off activities that take place once every couple of years. And so people's experience on any day in the farm can vary. But farms are live, dynamic places, and really on any day, anything can happen. And that is part of the attraction, part of the experience, and it gives people a great interest to keep coming back. And we see here a young woman who's on a dairy goat farm here in Westmeath. Goats are very active, inquisitive animals, and always up to some sort of mischief. So there's never, you can never predict what's going to happen next in that case. So the typical activities here is a list of different types of things that happen. And this, I suppose, gives an experience or gives you some sense of what a person can experience and take part in. So looking after the animals, feeding, grooming, cleaning, collecting eggs, obviously the preparation of soil, growing vegetables, sowing, weeding, pruning, harvesting, keeping and maintaining the buildings and yard, woodland activities, pruning timber, cutting timber, collecting and chopping firewood is important activity in many farms. Walking around the farm, checking stock, checking fences. There's also many environmental and biodiversity activities and improvements on farms, and people get engaged in that. Painting, fencing, going for supplies to the stores in the local village or town, doing craft, woodwork and craft in the farm workshop, also maintaining and retaining machinery and equipment, meeting the neighbours and friends around the farm and people who come onto the farm for various activities, contractors for a wide variety of activities. And obviously cooking and preserving food, baking, and many people get involved in those activities in the farm kitchen. And obviously preparing tea and lunch for themselves and for other participants who are on the farm. Many people engage in those activities and really enjoy them. And there's the enjoyment of the meals together around the kitchen table, or having various events for Halloween, Christmas. And these are very important social activities as well. Many farms attend events, agricultural shows, they attend markets to sell produce, cattle markets to sell stock. So there's a wide range of events that people can and do attend also. So from our research between 2018 and 2020, we have seen 4 main areas where people have benefited. Mental health benefits, education, skills and occupation, physical health, well-being and social connection. So there's a very wide, multidimensional, holistic range of benefits from taking part in social farming. So for mental health benefits, we've got feedback from people that they have found engaging with animals and plants to be positive and restorative in providing nurturing to plants and animals. The farm can be a space of refuge and calm away from busyness and activity of other parts of people's lives. It also provides significant, meaningful activity in that tending to an animal means that animal is healthy and happy and can take a focus on somebody away from their own health issues and make them feel better about what they're doing. And this provides useful role and also other value social roles beyond how a person is seen in their community. So if somebody's taking part in equine and equestrian support and looking after horses, they can be seen as part of the team doing that, as opposed to somebody with a disability in their community. Provides an interesting range of activities to engage people, and we have been told that people feel less anxious, less stressed, and less depressed when they attend social farms, because they're engaged in other activities that take their time away. The engagement on farm is very sensory in a wide range of ways. Sounds, smells, the beautiful views in many farms. There's an increased sense of belonging and inclusion in the community, having taken part, and people feel really alive and get to experience unfolding events like the birth of foal, lambs, calves, and provide, very significant choices for people and taking positive risks in engaging in the farm activity. And there's a wide range of people who have indicated a great level of fun and laughter on the farm. And you can see here from this that there is engagements in that way on farms. Social connections are about second, and another area where people have indicated to us they get a wide range of benefit. So people get a natural opportunity for connection with the farmer and for other people coming to the farm, as mentioned before. People have expanded their social circle. They've reported to us that the atmosphere on farms is very informal, open, social and fun, and that this allows them to be comfortable and to develop those connections much more easily. The shared tasks and side-by-side activity with the farmer means that their connection and discussion about what's happening is very natural, and it opens up conversations people can have at their own pace. And obviously provides people with topics of conversation which are very exciting and which they can relate to other people beyond the farm when they go home or go back to their residence. Many relationships extend beyond the farm gate and are reciprocal. People have taken part in sporting events and other community events, and they say that they feel less isolated and less lonely amongst participants and having taken part in social farming activity. Farms are very active places where there's a lot of physical activity, walking, bending, picking, using machines and equipment. And this provides people with very natural-based exercise, which is not labelled as that. So there's significant improvements in fitness, agility, strength, and vitality. People have reported improved sleeping patterns and positive tiredness and happy tiredness. And we see people developing routines up early in the morning, getting ready to travel to the farm, and using public transport and building the capacity and building the confidence to do that. People get an opportunity to learn about good food and quality nutrition, see where the food comes from, and try new food. And so the nutritional experience is enhanced. And since people have indicated they have simple goals to improve their fitness, to lose some weight, get involved in outdoor physical activity, and these are some of the planned goals that people have indicated to us that they achieved through social farming placement. There are very important educational skills benefits from taking part. People's capacity and confidence across multiple areas and activities increases. They learn a variety of practical skills in an informal setting without the formality of learning or testing. And they repeat those skills. There's many different activities such as woodwork, craft, baking, and these involve things like literacy and numeracy improvements. People learn quite a lot about animals, growing plants, about nature and biodiversity in a very natural way because it is of an interest to them and the farmer is so interested in telling them. We see people wanting to move into further training and educational opportunities once they have taken part. And this helps people to increase the level of independence and develop new interest. And we know that people tell us that there are significant educational skills benefits from social farming. And we can see how natural that is with a group of people enjoying the tasks and learning from each other. So from these four areas of benefit, we know that social farming can deliver on many, many different things. And we see that in terms of the United Nations and delivering on Ireland's national policy as well on disability, and the delivery on the UNCRPD elements, which provide for community-based support, access to education, and independence, making choice. And this is based on a social model of support rather than a medical or clinical model. Participation is high and people get to choose and follow their own interests. And they can foster engagements and inclusion in the local community. We know that social farming challenges and changes societal perceptions and assumptions about people and their abilities. And when people are seen in these ordinary settings doing ordinary things, it's a real boost for them and for society. It provides an opportunity for people to be themselves and also to see themselves as active, independent, and visible citizens within their own community doing something as ordinary as taking part in the farm activity. It happens in a natural setting, and the farm is playing a very important role in Ireland and Irish society and local communities. And for that, it's an ordinary support in an ordinary place for ordinary people. So thank you very much. And if you would like to find out more, there's a lot of resources available on our website, www.socialfarming.ie. This report here is one of those, Social Farming and Intellectual Disability Service. There's case studies there, information, newspaper articles, videos, and you're welcome to contact myself and my colleague, Dr. Ashley Maroney, who does quite a lot of our research and policy work and who helped put this together, this report together, this workshop together. You can contact me, brian@ndco.ie or Ashling, and we can support you and provide you with as much information as we can. Thank you very much.